Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy. Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God. Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called the children of God. Blessed are they which are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven. Blessed are ye, when men shall revile you and persecute you, and shall say all manner of evil against you falsely for my sake. Rejoice and be exceeding glad, for great is your reward in heaven. For so persecuted they the prophets which were before you. Ye are the salt of the earth, but if the salt has lost his savour, wherewith shall it be salted? It is thenceforth good for nothing, but to be cast out and to be trodden under foot of men. Ye are the light of the world. A city that is set on a hill cannot be hid. Neither do men light a candle and put it under a bushel, but on a candlestick, and it giveth light unto all that are in the house. Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven.
Saturday afternoon, a small town of football lovers. The match is over. There are wild celebrations on the streets. Fans of the winning team go on a rampage. One crazy fan throws a plastic bottle at fans of the rival team. Others follow in what they think is fun. The scene gets ugly, and the fans of both teams start hurling stones at each other. One stone accidentally hits the glass of a posh showroom with high-end cars. People begin to scream. The police reach the spot. The hooligans melt into the crowds. Slowly the panic subsides. Things gradually get back to normal in that small town of football lovers. About an hour later, two repairmen arrive at the scene. The first thing they do is to sweep away the broken glass pieces. Slowly but surely, they set out to restore the broken glass of the car showroom. No one notices them. Not a single passerby stops to watch them. That evening, the television news headlines were all about the hooligans who had smashed the grand car showroom. There was not a single line about the two repairmen who had done such a splendid job to restore everything back to normal. We live in a world where, thanks largely to the mass media, the glass breakers get all the attention. The glass makers, the repairmen, are sadly ignored. The church sets aside one day in the year to honor all the glass makers, the repairmen and the repairwomen who do such an excellent job and do it quietly and anonymously. We call it All Saints' Day and celebrate it on the 1st of November every year. Some outstanding saints like St. Francis of Assisi, or Mother Teresa lived heroic and inspirational lives. The vast majority of repair men and repair women, though, are unsung heroes and unknown saints from all faiths and all religions who lived selfless and holy lives. Every single one of us has the potential to be a saint. Every single one of us is called to be a saint. Dr. Viktor Frankl, a renowned psychiatrist and author of the famous book Man's Search for Meaning, was a Jew. He was imprisoned by the Nazis in the Second World War. His wife, his children, and his parents were killed in the Holocaust. The official secret police of the Nazis took Dr. Viktor and made him strip. He stood there totally naked. They noticed that he still had on his wedding ring. As they removed even that last possession, Dr. Viktor said to himself, "You can take away my wife, you can take away my children, you can strip me of my clothes and my freedom, but there is one thing no one can ever take away from me. One thing no one can ever take away from me. No one can ever take away my freedom to choose how I react to what happens to me. No one can take away our freedom to choose how to react or how to respond in a given set of circumstances. We are free to choose our attitudes in any given situation. We have the ability to maintain a positive attitude no matter how bad the situation may be. Jesus invites us to choose our attitudes. He presents us with the Beatitudes, more popularly known as the Sermon on the Mount. Before an election, every political party will issue a manifesto indicating the visions and the priorities of the party. The Beatitudes of Jesus are his manifesto, which has shaped and influenced the lives of millions of people over the centuries. Men and women of all ages have drawn inspiration from the Sermon on the Mount. Mahatma Gandhi drew strength and motivation from the Beatitudes for his concept of non-violence. Martin Luther King was convinced that his struggle would succeed only if it was based on justice, love, and forgiveness, proclaimed in the Beatitudes. What we hear from Jesus, we see in Jesus. Jesus practices what he preaches. Integrity is total and complete in Jesus. There is no hypocrisy. There are no double standards. Jesus focuses on the qualities he wishes to see in his disciples, qualities that are exemplified in his own life and in the lives of the saints. Saint or sinner, everyone wants to be joyful and happy. In the Beatitudes, Jesus gives us 8 keys to happiness. The Beatitudes begin with, "Blessed are the poor, blessed are the meek, blessed are those who mourn," and so on. The Greek word for blessed is makarios, which means supremely fortunate, or well off, or happy. In the Old Testament, the Psalms begin with makarios, and the introduction to the book of Revelation in the New Testament uses the same word. Strange it sounds to proclaim, supremely fortunate are the poor, or supremely fortunate are the meek, or supremely fortunate are those who mourn. From the purely worldly point of view, the Beatitudes are a crazy contradiction and a weird paradox. A glance at the Beatitudes shows that they are in fact a complete reversal of conventional values and worldly standards. The world idolizes the rich. Jesus says, "Blessed are the poor in spirit, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." The world says, "Rejoice and celebrate." Jesus says, "Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted." The world says, "Show your might and your strength." Jesus says, "Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth." The world promotes consumerism and indulgence. Jesus says, "Blessed are those who hunger and thirst for righteousness, for they shall be satisfied." The world seeks revenge. Jesus says, "Blessed are the merciful, for they shall obtain mercy." The world says, "Flaunt and impress." Jesus says, "Blessed are the pure in heart, for they shall see God." The world wants to judge and reward or punish. Jesus says, "Blessed are the peacemakers, for they shall be called children of God." The world values freedom at all cost. Jesus says, "Blessed are those who are persecuted for righteousness' sake, for theirs is the kingdom of heaven." This summary statement of Jesus is an invitation to take a good look at ourselves and our lives. Are we merciful? Are we peacemakers? Do we hunger for justice and righteousness? Are we poor in spirit and ready to bear rejection as a consequence of following the Jesus way? The great temptation today is the desire to be powerful, to control and to dominate others, to believe that our lives and our destiny are in our hands. Our Christian faith says, "Happy is the person who depends on God." Jesus himself reminds us in Matthew chapter 11 verse 29, "Learn from me, for I am meek and humble of heart." The Sermon on the Mount contains the essence of Jesus' teaching. The Beatitudes are the essence of that essence. In the Beatitudes, Jesus presents a new vision of the kingdom and invites his followers to live that vision. In the Beatitudes, what is emphasized is reliance on God. Those who know their need of God and live accordingly are truly blessed. They are the most fortunate of all people. God will give them all they need. We like to believe that we can manage our lives. Those who put their trust in human resources will be disappointed, but those who trust in God will never be disappointed. In the final analysis, do we put our trust in God no matter what happens to us? Supremely fortunate are those who place their trust entirely in God and in God alone. Behind much of the social, religious, political, and economic life today is the struggle for power. To acquire power is the name of the game. We believe that to be somebody in today's world, we have to have power. Nobody likes to be considered weak or to be perceived as powerless. Yet our faith challenges us to acknowledge that we are weak and so dependent on God. The Beatitudes are not telling you how to become a saint. The Beatitudes describe what a true saint is like. Jesus is inviting me to measure myself. Jesus is inviting you to measure yourself. Jesus is inviting all of us to measure ourselves. Are we ready? Amen.